This is KGW News at noon.
Well, those Blazer fans will need to show their vaccination card or a photo of it. So if you're a fan, you can't get vaccinated, you will need to bring proof of a negative COVID test, and it needs to be taken within 72 hours of the event. Masks are also required for all spectators. This also includes the Portland Winterhawks at the Memorial Coliseum. Their season doesn't start until October 1st. Head coach Mike Johnston agrees with the decision, saying, quote, "We, along with the Rose Quarter and the Portland Trail Blazers, all agree that the health and safety of our community is a top priority. All fans and staff will also need to wear face masks, and purchases will be cash-free." Well, a major sporting event happening in just a few hours will require vaccinations and masks as well. We're talking about the Thorns soccer game. Tonight, Providence Park will welcome back their players from the Olympics, including the gold medal winning team captain, Christine Sinclair. The Thorns are looking to build on the success they had during the summer games.
It hasn't been easy, obviously, for me personally, coming into a new team, playing a couple of games, then leaving for the Olympics, and then coming back. But this team has been incredible. So proud of them and all that they've been able to do while we've been away, obviously. And they made coming back the transition very easy.
Tonight's game against Gotham FC is set for 7:30. If you're going to go to the match, remember to bring your mask and your proof of vaccination.
While in the hospital, I had COVID, I had pneumonia, and 2 heart attacks, all caused by COVID.
That COVID survivor from Rogue River in Southern Oregon talks about his battle with the virus, and now he has a warning for others. Rick Fielder wants the unvaccinated to learn from his mistakes. He got infected in July. He says at first it wasn't bad. He thought he had the flu. Then he started noticing COVID symptoms. A week later, he was in the emergency room. He spent a month in the hospital. Fielder also survived esophageal cancer, but he says COVID is worse.
I had a esophagectomy where they take your esophagus out and build a new one out of the top third of your stomach and hook it up. But COVID, way worse than that. Very confused, couldn't follow directions. My wife kept telling me to eat, and somehow that didn't sink in. I've never experienced anything like that.
Now Rick is home. He's recovering. He says he's getting vaccinated immediately after he's medically cleared to do so, and he's urging other people to get their shots as well. Oregon health officials are also pleading with people to get vaccinated. There are now 1,000 COVID patients in the hospital statewide. That number has been surging for the last month, and most of those patients are unvaccinated. In Washington, COVID cases are also rising. In a press conference today, healthcare officials warned about increases in large and rural communities, calling the healthcare system stretched, stressed, and strained. But they are asking people not to defer care because untreated cases can become critical. Well, to protect employees and customers, a growing number of companies are issuing vaccine mandates. And experts warn workers who quit or are fired for refusing to get a shot likely won't be eligible for unemployment benefits. Now that the FDA has fully approved the Pfizer vaccine, companies can require it and make it a condition for employment. We talked to an employment law attorney. He expects more calls to his office as workers seek clarification on the new rules. Here's his advice.
If you want to maintain your job and you want to take the most safe course of action, it's to get vaccinated.
In Washington, October 18th is the deadline for state workers to get vaccinated or risk losing their job. This also applies to healthcare workers and school employees. Here in Oregon, K through 12 employees and healthcare workers have to get vaccinated too. So do students and staff at Oregon's 3 largest universities. And the schools are working on some new ways to keep track. U of O, just launched a vaccine dashboard. It shows how many students and staff have completed their vaccination reports. A school spokesperson says 52% of students have reported their vaccination status. Of that number, more than 96% have been fully vaccinated. Oregon State is about to launch a similar system. Portland State University is also planning to launch something similar. You can expect that in the next week. Well, there's more school news now, this time for Portland Public. The COVID surge has some employees asking the district to rethink what the school year will look like. Stephanie Audell is an elementary school librarian. She's glad Portland is requiring all employees to get vaccinated, but she doesn't think that's enough. She's hoping the district considers beginning the year remotely or in a hybrid model.
I do get it. I get it. Kids love to be together. They love to be with their teachers. We love to be with them. I do understand that. But unfortunately, I think this is a bigger issue. We're talking about the health of these students.
Portland Public said students will stay 3 feet apart in all classrooms, which does follow state guidance. In the meantime, in Beaverton, City Councilor Nadia Hassan wrote a letter to the school district asking leaders there to, quote, delay the return to in-person school until we pass the Delta peak. Well, Portland still plans to start on time, but at least 3 other school districts are not starting on time. The Alsea district in Benton County was set to start on Monday, but now it'll start on August 30th. 2 other districts, both in Douglas County, also announced delays. South Umpqua High School will start in early September, and Elkton schools will start later in the month. Douglas County, by the way, has the highest number of infections in Oregon, with almost 1,200 cases per 100,000 residents. Another issue facing schools, homeless camps. During the pandemic, those camps set up around empty school buildings. Now, as Portland kids get ready to return to in-person learning next week, at least one of those camps has to go. Biohazard crews cleaned up a camp near Sunnyside School in southeast Portland. In a statement, a representative for Portland Public Schools called homelessness a humanitarian crisis and said they're working with the city and the county to resume in-person classes safely. Well, if you travel on I-5, expect some delays today. There's a vehicle procession in honor of Oregon State Police Sergeant John Burright. It started this morning at the Lynn County Fairgrounds around 10:30. The procession went past the Oregon State Police Patrol Office in Albany, where Sergeant Burright spent most of his career. He was severely injured in 2001 when a car hit him on the shoulder of I-5. The sergeant was helping a family deal with a broken down car. 2 other officers were also hit and died. A memorial service will start at 1 o'clock this afternoon. We'll have a recap of that tribute coming up on our news at 4 o'clock. Well, we are learning more about the firefighter who died working a wildfire in Lane County. The 56-year-old was from Medford. His name was Fremencio Ruiz Carapia. He was part of the crew battling the Gales fire, and he was hit by a falling tree. He'd been a firefighter for 20 years. The Gales fire is part of the Middle Fork complex, which involves multiple fires in the Willamette National Forest. Okay, before we get to Rod, check this out. A pair of young ospreys are recovering after falling out of their nest in Powell Butte over in Central Oregon. The Bend-based nonprofit Think Wild is helping take care of them. Those birds are about 2 months old. Somehow, they got tied together with a piece of baling twine, the kind that they use to tie up hay. Only surgery could free them. It's likely the mother bird used the twine to make her nest and the babies got tangled in it.
Fortunately, the rescuer did let us know that the mother is still at the original nest. And so we are really hoping that we'll be able to rehab and release these fledgling osprey and reunite them with their mother before she were to migrate south for the winter.
Rescuers say this is a good reminder to pick up after yourself when you're out and about and not leave trash or twine behind. That is the easiest way to prevent injuries like this in the future.